Hey, what's up? We have Danny here from Bank of England, Daniel Rozenblum. We've had tons of people asking questions about what's the state of the lending market, what are interest rates, Fed dropped the percentage to 0%, and I figured why not get Daniel Rozenblum out here to give us some answers. What's going on, Danny?
Hey, how's it going?
How's everything going in Colorado?
Everything's good. Probably the same as there, hanging out with the family and the kids at the house, and just trying to enjoy the family during this once in hopefully a lifetime situation.
Yeah, that's for sure. And honestly, it's actually kind of nice having the kids around all day. It's been I've been a principal at one point in the day, and then doing my business at the same time, come back from a showing, making dinner. It's all totally different.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a little bit different life at the moment. So, but it's all good. Got to make the best out of it.
Yeah, and I guess within our industry, we have to figure out how to make it work because we're still considered a necessity. So we have no choice but to continue to work and figure everything out. So what's I guess our big question, our burning question is what's the current state of the mortgage industry right now?
Yeah, so as of right now, as far as our bank is concerned, we're business as usual, but there has been some funky things, I guess you can say, with the overall mortgage market. 3 weeks ago, when this pandemic started happening, interest rates went down considerably. A 30-year fixed rate was right around 3%, which is unheard of. It's a all-time low. And when that happened, there was a huge surge to refinance. So pretty much everyone that's done a loan in the past was available to refi. Unfortunately, that rate was available for about a day to 1.5 days. What happened was there was such a surge that the volume of people that were looking to refinance overloaded the mortgage industry. And what all the lenders did, all the investors that set these interest rates, they moved all the interest rates up above 4% so people would stop coming in to refinance. So you get a little bit of, rates are low, but then the mortgage, sometimes you see mortgage rates higher and, things are fluctuating with the rates quite considerably. Right now, interest rates for instance, on a 30-year fixed, depending on what bank you go to, it could be anywhere from 3% to 4.5%. So it's really important that you kind of look around and you make sure that you're maybe getting the best deal out there. But it's business as usual at the moment, and from bank to bank, you may see a little bit different operating procedure based on what their situation is at the time.
And then, okay, that's the current situation with the rates. Where do you think they'll go in the next few weeks? Obviously, things can change immensely. I guess it used to be that rates changed almost on a daily basis. Now it's gone to the point where they're almost changing every hour, aren't they?
Yeah, they're changing quite a bit. We're definitely getting a lot of lock alert emails or float alert emails. And that what that means is that, we can start out in the morning and you can be talking to someone and let's say their rate's 3.25. Well, by the afternoon, the rate could be 3.375, 3.5, or it could even go down a little bit. So, on a refinance situation, obviously, if you can get locked in at a good rate and everything looks good, I always recommend, hey, let's kind of lock it in. On a purchase, sometimes you don't have that ability unless you're under contract. So you have to have a little bit of patience and just understand that if you're, looking at a house and, you just want to give yourself a little bit of a range of where the rates may wind up. I wish I can tell you where rates would be in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
But, it's just such an impossible thing to, especially in this market. It's like trying to day trade and knowing what's going to happen next. And,
But
just doesn't work.
I think that's important for people to know because people will shop around, they'll look on the internet, they'll find a rate, not knowing that rate could have changed 16 times since the last time they posted that. So I think that's definitely important for people to know. What would you say the main difference is today compared to 30 days ago beyond interest rates? Has the process changed or is it still the same thing? Are they still wanting the same documents, the same information?
Yeah, so same documentation. Nothing's really changed as far as approval. Same documentation. A lot of the changes that have happened are, one, a lot of people are unemployed right now, unfortunately, especially in the Las Vegas area. So there's a little bit more of scrutiny on if the person is employed or not, especially at the closing. So we've had a couple of situations where they were employed and maybe a day or two before the closing, their company may have went out of business. So you got to be a little bit careful there. And then two, a lot of social distancing changes as well. So as far as like an appraisal, we can do drive-by appraisals right now instead of the appraiser coming into the property. So if someone is, hey, I don't want to do a refinance right now, I don't want someone coming into my house for an appraisal, that's not really an issue because they can just do a drive-by. As closings, I've heard some different stories about closings, parking lot closings where there's a drive-through and people are standing outside, front porch closings where the notary will hand something in a plastic bag with the driver's license. So, a lot of the social distancing, but as far as loan approval and qualifying and all of that, that's the same.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, and definitely, I think social distancing is the name of the game right now between DocuSign or virtual notaries and the drive-through thing. I've heard about this. I haven't witnessed it yet, but I've heard about the drive-through signings, which is definitely a sign of the times for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But the people are trying to keep everybody safe, and it's amazing how fast title companies, mortgage companies have just gone total 180 on some processes and have completely just gone with it and really had made some major changes really fast.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty amazing. It's, with the technology these days, it made it possible for sure.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And so with jumbo loans was one of the questions I know some people had. Are any of the lenders still doing jumbo loans? And first of all, what are jumbo loans?
So a jumbo loan is any loan that is over the conforming max loan amount in the county that you're in. So it does differ from county to county in the United States. Right now in Las Vegas, it's a little bit over 510,000. It's 510,400 to be exact. So any loan amount that's over that amount is considered a jumbo loan. And I can't speak for every single, there's hundreds of lenders out there, thousands of lenders. But a majority of the major lenders that do provide jumbo loans are not doing jumbo loans right now. It's just
Is that mostly due to risk and liability? Like they're just a little scared because it's a riskier loan, right?
it's not so much risk. It's actually a liquidity issue. So when what the banks do when everyone closes these loans is they package them up into millions of dollars of mortgage-backed securities and they sell them into the market for conforming loans specifically. And so what happened a couple of weeks ago is a lot of the money that the investors buy these mortgage bonds dried up because everyone was freaking out about the market dropping. So that's one of the reasons why the rates were going up as well, is because there wasn't enough money in the market to buy all the mortgages that were being originated. So what happened is the Federal Reserve came in when they lowered the rates to zero. Something else that happened there that wasn't really a headline, but for the mortgage business, it was huge, is that they said they were going to buy unlimited mortgage-backed securities. And that's why the rates have come back down, because they've been buying billions of dollars in mortgage-backed securities in the last couple of weeks. Now, with jumbo loans, mortgage-backed, the government, the Treasury does not buy jumbo loans. So those jumbo loans are financed through that specific bank that you're working with. So if the money is scarce, they're going to pull away from loans that may not be able to be sold or sold in the secondary market.
Because otherwise they're stuck holding them.
They're stuck holding them, and right. So there's no outlet for some of these, I don't want to say riskier, but some of these loans that can't be packaged. There's not as much liquidity out there as there was before this
Which
pandemic.
is kind of what I meant by risk, is that it's just they don't have as many options at that point. So they're trying to be slim
Yes.
and very safe right now,
Yeah, it's
as
riskier
far
for
as
the
what they're
bank.
doing. Yeah.
Riskier for the bank, not a risky borrower. So.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see. Look at my questions here. So currently, what's the average turn time on closings? What are you seeing? Are you still in that 30-day range? Is there anything different right now?
It's going to depend on bank to bank. From what I've heard, some of the bigger banks like Chase and Wells Fargo can be anywhere from 60 to 120 days. I had a client tell me they
Which
were
is,
asked.
just for everybody to know, that's double the average in at least in Nevada. We averaged about 30 days. 60 days is nearly double.
Yeah, and they've also, and some of the bigger banks also have raised their rates, so they don't have as much volume either. Because if you're buying a house and you can't close for 120 days, that's a problem. For us, maybe for some smaller banks that don't have millions of customers, we're still doing 30-day closings and even less in some situations. We're just a little bit more efficient, in my opinion.
And we've got
Um,
one right now that's rolling along. I
yeah,
think it looks like we're probably going to be done early, prior
yeah.
to the 30 days.
Yeah, on a teacher in a home Nevada housing program.
Actually, that's the good point, because not every bank does these programs. I would love for you to talk about some of the programs that are out there right now that some people can use, whether it's doctors or teachers or the Home as Possible program, if that still has any money left. What's out there right now for people to use?
Yeah, the Home is Possible program is still around. For people that don't know what that is, that's a down payment assistance program for the state of Nevada, and that hasn't changed at all. That one is still kicking. They just finished up the Hope program, which was the $20,000 down payment assistance program that just ended. Um,
And what's the current assistance on the Home as Possible program?
there's a couple of different options.
Okay.
There's either a 4% of the loan amount or a 5% of the loan amount option. And depending on which way you go, it's a little bit different. I don't want to spend too much time. But it's either 4 or 5% of the purchase price they'll give to you towards the down.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess if anybody has questions about that, they can reach out to you. You can break it down for them. And that's 4% of the home price that they get toward closing costs, right? Which,
Correct. Technically the loan amount, but yes, it's going to be pretty similar there.
so
So
let's say on a $200,000 home, that could be $8,000 to $10,000 that could be of assistance, right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
And then, like, one of our clients right now is using the teachers program. What's the breakdown of that? How does that help teachers?
So yeah, the teachers program is going on until the end of June. They have extended it a couple times already, but this may be the last. I don't know if they'll extend it after this one. They give you $7,500 in closing costs no matter what the purchase price is, and they give you a below market interest rate, and I believe that rate's at 2.75% on a 30-year fixed right now, and they're giving you some money for a down
And the
payment.
thing is,
So
teachers have jobs right now, so
exactly.
luckily they're still able to get a loan if they need one.
Mhm.
And obviously, that's a lot. That's a low rate. 2.75 is pretty much what a 15-year loan would be on for most people.
Yeah, and they're giving you some money to help out for the purchase, so it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's huge. So another question is, where is it? Let me see here. Oh, forbearance. So I know this is a confusing part of the mortgage industry. I know it's not necessarily your side of the process. What is your knowledge on the whole forbearance process? What is forbearance? Who can do it? If you even know. I know obviously this is not exactly your part of the process, but what do you know about forbearance?
Yeah, I mean forbearance. I don't do them personally. I'm on the selling side of the mortgage industry, and there's also a servicing side of the industry as well. And Fannie and Freddie Mac are the ones that really have come out with some of the guidelines for the rules on forbearance. Now, you want to be a little bit careful with forbearance. If you have the ability to pay your mortgage, I would say stay away from the forbearance because it's not forgiveness,
Yeah.
it's forbearance. So
Yes, that's a good point, because I think people hear the word forbearance and for some reason assume it means it's being forgiven because of some of the programs that are coming down the pipeline right now with the money, the PPP plan, all of this. Forbearance is actually saying, okay, you don't have to pay right now. However, you're going to have to pay it back.
Exactly. And if you're, I totally understand if you're in a spot where you may have lost your job and man, how are you going to make your mortgage payment? Then yeah, it's definitely an option out there. And I would suggest if you're in that situation to call whoever your servicer is and talk to them and see what the situation is. Just be a little bit patient. I'm sure a lot of people are calling right now. So, and then but if you're, I wouldn't try to take advantage of something if you can make the payment because you're gonna have to pay it back anyways. And I'm not 100% sure, but there may be some interest involved in your payment may go up in the future to pay that back over time.
And
So
from what I've seen, there's some gray areas. It's not necessarily, so you have 3 months you're not paying. By the fourth month, you may actually owe all 4 months at that time.
yeah,
Or you may not qualify for a payment plan. Or like I heard, the details are really murky.
yeah, I mean, there are government-sponsored agencies coming up with these rules on the fly, and every lender is going to be bombarded with phone calls right now. So, again, it's for if you just really need help, it's make the phone call and, um, you know, get it taken care of. But, if you got a ton of money sitting in the bank and you just want to skip a couple of payments, I would probably try to avoid calling the lender trying to skip a couple of payments. It's probably not
Yeah.
worth the time and the hassle you're going to go through.
No, it doesn't sound like it is. So in the end, would you say right now, like I know at least in Vegas, we still have tight inventory, especially under 400,000. It's not a down market necessarily here just yet. I think I'm starting to see some price adjustments, but under 400,000, there's just not enough inventory. Would you consider, at least on the lending side, now a good time to buy?
Yes, obviously, like interest rates, I can't predict the future. But if you're in a good spot and you have your job, there may be some good opportunities, in my opinion, where someone may have lost their job and they may have to move or sell or something. Not that you ever want to take advantage of someone's
No, for sure. Yeah.
misfortune, but there
And
are
that's
you probably can help that person out too. And I do have a couple of situations like that too, where that actually, maybe the renter had to get out of the house because they were selling and they have to buy now, and they're buying another house for someone that had to sell. So some of that's going on. So if you're in a position where you're able to purchase, you may be able to get into a good, maybe a good purchase price here in the next couple months.
and actually our clients that are buying right now, that was their situation. Actually, their lease was up, and they had 30 days no matter what the market was, they had to buy right now. And they were able to get a little bit of a deal because another deal fell through. Unfortunately, the buyer did not actually make it to the closing as far as lending is concerned, and our clients were able to get a pretty good deal on a property. But I agree, now is not the time to take advantage of anybody, sure, but I do think there'll be some people on the sell side who need help. And I think on the buy side, there could be some opportunity as well.
Yeah, I agree. And rates are really low. I mean, we're talking low threes. So, if you can get into something with a good deal and get a 3% interest rate, for instance, you're going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, three. I know my parents, when they bought their house in the late 80s, they paid 17%. So that I don't think we're going to be anywhere near those times at all. So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way as far as website, email, phone number? And obviously I'll drop that down below as well so people have it. But what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure. Everyone's welcome to call, email. My email address is drozenblum. I spell my name a little bit weird, so it's DROZENBLUM, and at boemortgage.com for Bank of England at boemortgage.com. And my phone number is 720, not 702. A lot of people do that. 720-351-5480.
And then what's the website?
We're at boemortgage.com. I should probably check really quick to make sure because I know they were working on that here.
And then I'll put the link below directly to your page on BOE Mortgage, because I know that'll take them to the main site, just to make sure they get directly to your section.
Yes, that'd be perfect. I'll give you that. But yeah, that's our website, boemortgage.com now, and that has all of our branches there. But I'll give you the link so it directs you to our site.
All right, cool. Danny, appreciate it. I know so many people have a million questions. So if anybody does have any extra questions, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure Danny gets you the answers. But either way, stay safe, man. Nice to talk to you.
You too.
And, say hi to the family for me. Where's that cat? No, not the cat. That's right. Your cat's not around. There was a cat at your house that
the one that attacked you. And
yes, exactly. All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And either way, stay safe. And I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks.
Bye.